In the heart of Africa's forgotten wetlands, where mist hugs the water and silence speaks louder than thunder, lived a beast known only by whispers, Goro, the Crocodile King. His scales were older than storms, his jaws strong enough to break bone and fate alike. For decades, no creature dared cross his river. But nature, ever defiant, was preparing a challenge, one that would test even a king. The dawn broke with a pale red glow across the wetlands. The river lay still, its surface mirroring the sky, but beneath that calm swam a monster. Goro, massive and scarred, drifted silently through the murky water. The current bent around him, as if the river itself feared to touch its ruler. He had ruled these waters since youth, a hunter without equal. The herds that came to drink did so with trembling limbs, and even the hippos, loud and defiant, had learned to give him space. His eyes, cold and golden, were twin suns beneath the surface, watching, waiting. But something was changing. The fish were fewer now, the currents colder. The rainy season had ended early, leaving the river shallow and hungry. Goro could feel it, the rhythm of the land shifting, whispering of hunger and drought. As days turned to weeks, the air grew heavy. Strange creatures arrived from upstream, smaller crocodiles fleeing some unseen force. Goro tolerated none. When one dared approach his resting place, he struck with the precision of death itself. The water turned red and silence returned. Yet in that silence, something stirred. Across the opposite bank, a dark shape lingered, vast, unfamiliar, powerful. Another crocodile, but larger than any Goro had seen before. Its snout bore scars like lightning, and its eyes glowed not with hunger, but with challenge. The river trembled under their shared gaze. Two kings, one river. That night, the jungle did not sleep. The herons flew to higher branches, and even the insects held their breath. Goro drifted through the moonlit water, his instincts whispering of an approaching storm, not from the sky, but from the depths. He had ruled the river all his life. But now, something had come to claim it. The sun rose heavy and red, its reflection rippling across the river like blood spilled from a wound. The marshland was quieter than ever, as though the earth itself waited for what was coming. Goro moved slowly through the shallows, his massive body cutting the water in silence. His ancient instincts told him that the balance of power had shifted. The river no longer answered to one master. Across the bend, the rival had made his claim. He was younger, larger in muscle, but without the patience of age. The locals would one day name him Raka, the river phantom. He hunted openly, tearing through prey that Goro had once ruled over. His roars echoed across the reeds, a challenge that pierced the heart of the old king. For the first time in years, Goro felt something deeper than hunger-fury. The river was not simply his home, it was his legacy, shaped by his strength and sealed by blood. The new intruder was not merely a threat. He was an insult. Days turned into a tense standoff. The two beasts circled each other through the muddy currents, each marking territory with silent menace. The animals of the river sensed the brewing war. Elephants refused to cross, hippos stayed to the upper shallows, and birds migrated early, fleeing the violence they knew would come. One twilight, the moment arrived. A carcass floated downstream, a wildebeest taken by the current. Both kings moved for it, silent and swift. Their eyes locked, and time itself seemed to stop. Then, the water erupted. Claws tore, jaws snapped, and the river boiled with rage. Waves crashed against the banks as the titans collided. Goro's bite was like iron, slow, deliberate, lethal. But Raka's youth gave him speed, his movements wild and relentless. Each strike sent shockwaves through the current. The reeds bent, the fish fled, and the night filled with the sound of war. When the battle ended, the river was stained red, the air heavy with the scent of blood and mud. Both kings vanished beneath the surface. And when the water finally calmed, neither beast reappeared. Only the ripples remained, and the jungle watched, waiting to see which king would rise again. The river slept uneasily for days. The surface carried only silence and drifting foam, but beneath the calm ran the memory of violence. Birds returned hesitantly to the trees, and herds began to drink again, yet the tension remained, an unspoken fear that the battle had not ended. Deep below, hidden within a dark hollow beneath the riverbank, Goro lay wounded. His scales were torn, one leg crippled from Raka's savage bite. Age had caught him, and for the first time, the king of the river felt the pull of mortality. The cold water wrapped around him like a shroud. He could rest. He could surrender. But his eyes, those golden, unyielding eyes, never closed. Far upstream, Raka ruled now. The younger beast had claimed Goro's hunting ground, thrashing through the shallows with arrogance, tearing apart whatever dared cross his path. The river had become his throne of blood. Yet the creatures of the wetland no longer approached to drink. The air had changed. The stillness of Goro's era, the balance of power, was gone. Now there was only chaos. When the rains came, the river swelled and broke its banks. The current turned violent, churning debris and mud. Goro felt it, the pulse of the water that had always been his. Strength returned slowly, born of fury and instinct. The storm became his signal. He rose. Under the crashing rain, the two kings met again. This time, there were no witnesses, only thunder, darkness, and the roar of the swollen river. Goro struck first, silent and precise, his jaws clamping onto Raka's neck. The younger beast thrashed, the current tearing around them, waves rising like mountains. The battle was not of hunger or pride now, it was for the soul of the river itself. Hours passed like seconds. When dawn came, the flood had calmed. The reeds swayed gently, and the surface stilled once more. A single shadow drifted through the mist, vast, scarred, and silent. Goro had returned. The River King was home again. He did not roar. He did not hunt. He simply drifted, watching, guarding, as the jungle bowed in quiet respect. The river had found its ruler again, and peace, at last, flowed beneath the golden sun.